Destiny will be a great game. But with most great games, people often manage to find things that annoy them, think certain things could be done better, or think things were just bad overall. The fact that Destiny is still in pre-alpha doesn't mean I'm not worried about a few things. So, here are the top 5 things that concern me about Destiny. Before we begin, you'll hear me reference Destiny as an MMO. Destiny is not an MMO, but it is very similar and it's easy for me to reference it as such. Number 5. Exploration. Bungie has stated many times that the world is wide open to exploration, that they want people to explore the game and learn about the world. Personally, I am not the kind of person who enjoys exploration for the sake of exploring. I often check every hallway, every room, every path possible for secret items, not because I want them, but almost because I feel obligated to do it since so many games do this. Regarding exploration in Destiny, it doesn't matter if your world is just open to exploration if the only reason for me to explore is just to explore it. If it's just endless mountain ranges and plateaus with nothing to find, why bother? If it's only explorable for the sake of moving in between plot points, it's not really exploring as much as it is trying to find the next mission. Number 4. Borderlands Syndrome. I enjoyed Borderlands, but unless you played multiplayer with a lot of different people, the game got stale fast. Bungie has already said they're addressing the issue of people wanting to play together with friends at different levels, which is fine. And what I mean by this is that supposedly, if you're level 30 and your friend is level 10, you'll still be able to play together without just stomping everything into the ground. But Borderlands was shoot stuff, get thing, shoot more stuff, get other thing. Mindlessly repetitive, tons of backtracking, and for me, low replayability. I did not find using the other classes really changed my gameplay experience that much. Obviously, this is from a solo player's perspective. I'm sure those of you who have played a lot of multiplayer might not share these sentiments. Number 3. Guns. We recently heard on the Bungie podcast that a lot of guns are handcrafted by the artists, that they'll feel unique, and Bungie has made it clear that exotic weapons are going to be a sight to behold for sure. But I'm worried that Bungie thinks the exotic weapons are rarer than they think they will be. For example, the Thunderlord strongly hinted at the fact that it won't be a gun found in the wild, that it'll be given to you after a certain event is completed. While we don't know what that event is, or even if it will just be given to you, it certainly seems possible that there will be a lot of exotic weapons that most people will inevitably have. While Bungie claims there will be millions of guns, the majority of those guns are going to be junk or stuff you use for a very short time. Number 2. Public events. Public events are a welcome addition to any game, but we've seen this go down before in Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 hyped the hell out of dynamic events, which are random events that would happen in the world that you had to contribute or not contribute to, and then the result would affect the entire area. In reality, these dynamic events were supposedly no more than a scripted event scheduled to run every so often. After X amount of time, the same event would start up again, doing the same thing every time. Is this a precursor to what we'll see with Destiny? Will public events just be X thing in Y place every Z hours? Or will there be something more? And finally, number 1. Endgame content. I realize that not every MMO created since World of Warcraft was aiming to dethrone it, but many have tried, and the few that I've tried, in addition to the many I've researched, the biggest flaw most of them suffer from is lack of endgame content. Keep this in mind. In an MMO, you're going to spend most of your time at max level. So many games have such a rich leveling experience, filled with lore and learning new things and skills, but then fail to realize that they have nothing for these people to do once they're done leveling. Which would be fine if they were creating, Final Fantasy X, which is my favorite game ever and the game where the name Datto comes from, and had a very good endgame for being single player. But when you make an MMO, you need things for people to do when they reach endgame or they will rapidly leave the game. PvP is not endgame, grinding reputation or doing daily quests is not endgame. For anyone who's going to say World of Warcraft did not have some endgame standing by is just completely wrong. Molten Core, World of Warcraft's first raid, was in the game at launch plus Onyxia's Lair, two 40-man raids. While Onyxia was killed early on, The world first boss kill of Ragnaros, the last boss of Molten Core, wasn't until late April 2005. Blizzard then released Blackwing Lair less than 2 months later. Granted, things were very different back then, and Destiny is drastically different from World of Warcraft. And while Bungie claims to have plenty of things to do upon reaching Endgame, I've been told the same story many times over and been disappointed many times in the past. I'm not going to get into why companies don't spend more time developing Endgame, it's another story for another day, but I assume one of these reasons is development costs. Blizzard can do what they do because they make cash money. Bungie definitely has some cash money in the bank, and I hope they spent it on a good Endgame. I realize how premature this all is, and for all I know, I could be completely wrong on every single point, but I make these points because I care. I want this game to be a great experience for a long time to come. Many companies make promises and fail to keep them, and we've all been disappointed by a bad gaming experience in the past. This is not top 5 reasons why Destiny is going to be bad. This is not top 5 reasons why I'm not getting Destiny. I am super amped for Destiny, and I want it to be the best thing, since the last thing that was the best thing was the best thing. Do you have any worries about Destiny? What are they? And I'm talking gameplay-wise, the core mechanics, not I don't think they're going to release it for PC, or they're going to show the same demo again at another conference. I'm talking gameplay. So let's talk it up in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.